We are in Parashat Beshalach, in the portion of Beshalach. And we know it's a famous portion because there's so many things happening, the splitting of the Red Sea, the Israelite, the Jewish people leaving Egypt after 430 years of slavery. We are talking about transformation, and full capacity of transformation is happening this week. After splitting of the Red Sea, some complain, sweet water, the manna, so many things happen in the parashah, and it was difficult for me when I prepared the lecture. I said, I guess I have to teach all of it, but what am I doing? I mean, the whole idea of the manna, just think about the manna. That concept is so unique, so unique. I mean, the manna. What is the manna? Food coming from heaven, and it's tested according to your mind. What if you think about it? That's how it tastes like. Can you imagine? You're responsible for the flavor of the food you're eating. No more restaurant. No more order from a waiters. Or I ate with this chef or another chef. It's all based on raw food that you can turn it into whatever you want. That's the manna. And that came from heaven. What could be better than that? I mean, based on Kabbalah, this is called Or Yashar, direct light. And I mean, what is the way to earn it? I mean, we cannot earn something that comes from above. Only by doing something toward that or by sharing. And we know the manna came exactly the amount for each person, exactly to what they need. You cannot go and collect it during Shabbat. It stopped during Shabbat. And to understand for us, what is this universe is capable of, if we connect to the Creator, is unheard of. Everything is there. You can go sit and schwitz in a spa, and you're going to meet the person that you need to do a business with. Or you're supposed to walk in the street, and the question for your answer for 25 years is right next to you. That's how the universe is supposed to operate. Synchronicity exists everywhere. The order is perfect. For some reason, we are not capable to connect to that order all the time. For that reason, we invented Passover. In Passover, you connect to that order. And when a person is connected to that order, then you're going above the universe of separation. And for that reason, everything is working out. I mean, a story like Amalek. You're fighting the Amalek, the worst enemy that exists. The enemy that put in your mind doubts. Moses is coming, he's raising his hand, Habibi. Amalek is losing. What is that raising the hand? I mean, what is the story with raising the hand? And then of course, the Gemara talk about it. When he raises his hand, the people of Israel look at the sky, get some yirah, and get connected to the Creator, and by that, they won. So Moses was basically a vehicle to connect them to Aviv Shebashamayim, to bring emunah within their soul. From here we learn the emunah, the faith that you have, is correcting everything in your life. That's all what we need. So the parashah is to teach us that everything is already here. We need to do some work to reveal that everything is there. Now, to understand that, today I got a good news. That's the paper of the good news. I found out today that on a site called Sefaria, they have a section, or the whole thing, of Rabbi Yehuda Ashlag, Baal HaSulam, Pticha lechokhmat HaKabbalah. And thank God to Sefaria, and thank God to my very dear friend, student, and friend, Michael Englander, was pushing very hard to make sure that will be on Sefaria. So thank you, Michael, if you listen to it. So I would like to read from it. I would like to be the first one to start connecting to it. I'm reading just the first three psukim. Don't worry, I'm not going to get off the subject. The reason I'm reading it is because I want to focus on the manna before even we start the story of the parasha. Because the manna means everything from heaven is already there. So how can that be? So Rav Ashlag start by saying Rabbi Hanani ben Akashya Omer. Rabbi Hanani is saying, God wanting, I'm jumping to English to save time. to give us zachut, to give us merit, to give us all the wonderful thing. That's why he gave us Torah and mitzvot. Now, if you ask people about Torah and mitzvot, they will tell you, oh, it's a burden, it's too much, I cannot pray now, I cannot do this, I cannot study Torah. Nothing with the cheshek, nothing with desire, with excitement. It's up to the teacher to teach everything with excitement, but it's up to the student to respect the teacher, to see that the teacher teaches with excitement. It's two sides. Like a gentleman asked me not too long ago, he saw that the teacher is too tough on the kids. Doing Amidah, the kids were making noise and the teacher said, with the hand. And he found it to be judgmental. Maybe it is judgmental, but if the student will be a good student, they will look at the teacher and remember that the teacher is actually want to make them a better human being. So in everything, Torah mitzvot, it's a lezakot. He want to create merit for us. That's why he give us the Torah mitzvot. And he'd say, what is lezakot? What is to give us merit? He says, zachut u'milshon is dakechut. The merit meaning purify yourself. לא נתנו מצוות אלא לצרף בהם את ישראל. As it say that the mitzvot was given to us only to purify us. And we need to understand what is that purification we need to do through the mitzvot. And it say like that. The thought of creation was only to do good for the part that God created. Us. Everything around us, animal, vegetable. So God, one thing is the creator is doing is just to do good for his creature. Like the manna. מתנת ידו הרחבה יתברך ויתעלה. מכאן בארבע נשמות רצון וחשק גדול לקבל שפרו יתברך. For that reason, within our soul, there is desire to receive all the goodness that the creator want to give us. כי הרצון לקבל הוא הכלי על מידת התענוג שבשפע. The desire to receive we have within our vessel, within our desire, is to receive exactly the amount of pleasure that the creator want to give us. Everybody. One more, one less. And everything is connected to one another. ובכך שני אלה נמשכים מהבור יתברך. So everything comes from the creator, blessed be he. The desire and the fulfillment. אלא שיש לחלוק בהם על דרך הנזכר. אשר השפע מעצמותו יתברך, כלומר שנמשך יש ויש, והרצון לקבל הכל שם, ושורש כל הנדק הוא השורש החידוש שיש מאין. But there is a big difference between the two. Your desire, my desire, our desire, everything desire, it's called יש מאין. Something from nothing. The fulfillment itself that comes from above, that's called yesh miyesh. So the manna is yesh miyesh. We create a desire for all the wonderful thing as yesh me'ain, something from nothing. And some that those two forces are not meeting each other. The only way they will meet each other if we change ourselves. And that's what this parashah is all about. That's what this parashah is teaching us, Beshalach. How we get out of the klipot, how we get out of Egypt, how we get out of the misery, how we get out of all the issue. But before I'm telling you the idea of how do we get out of everything, I think it's fair enough to start from the beginning to know what exactly happened and how the Creator took slaves for 430 years. You know what it means? It means that every person who was born knew he was born into slavery. Think about it. Think about it. It's like a ghetto. There is one building. You know the grandfather of yours was a slave and you're a slave and your children and your grandchildren will be a slave. There's no way out. This is it. This is who you are. That's your personality. That's what you're going to do for the rest of your life. That will be next generation. Similar I heard in India, poor people believe that that's the karma. Sad that they use religion and spirituality to tell people that they will never change. They're born to be a slave. Not true. That's why there is the Creator. That's why you need that emunah. And I want to read to you that section from the Zohar. Okay, Beshalach Pharaoh. It's in Sulam, it's in Kaf A. So, Amar Rabbi Shimon said, בואו ראה, כשיצאו ישראל ממצרים, when the Israelites left Egypt, היה רוחם נשברת בקרבם. They were broken. They were broken. מעבודת הפרך. היו שומעים את השבחות של המלאכים, and they heard the angels singing that they're getting out of Egypt. Do you think a slave appreciating getting out of that misery? He cannot even tell. There is no way he can describe what freedom feel like. You can't understand freedom if you're a slave. You can value freedom if you are addicted to something. You can value freedom and test the sweetness of freedom when it's all about what can I get for me today. לא יכלו לשמוח. They could not be happy, say the Zohar, say Rabbi Shimon. ובשעה שכל החילות והמרכבות האלה נמצאו עם שכינה ממצרים. שכינה left Egypt, all the מרכבות. I'm talking about, try to imagine 100 billion entity, forces get out of Egypt together with the Israelite. נעשו כולם שירות ותשבחות לפני הקדוש ברוך הוא. All the angels are singing and beautiful. Do you think the slave can hear it? No. They couldn't. אז עורר הקדוש ברוך הוא את רוחם של ישראל, the creator, blessed be he. He woke up the Israelite, שיהיו שומעים תשבחות אלו, so they will be able to listen and hear those those songs of the angel, those songs of above the מרכבות. ונשארה רוחם בקרבם ולא פרחה בהם. Usually if you listen to such a sound, you die. They didn't die. כאשר מניח האדם מלאכתו, הוא מרגיש שבר בעצמותיו ושבר רוחו. Usually when you come from work and you work very hard as a slave, usually that's the time you feel you are in pain. כך ישראל כאשר יצאו במצרים, when they left Egypt, היו תואמים תאמיתה, the test of death. Because at that moment, it makes you realize what just happened in the last 24 hours. We have experienced 12 months of Hashem give plagues after plagues to Egypt. We don't know what the end result. We have no idea. We are not certain of what's going to be tomorrow. We don't know. That's why if you're taking care of a poor person, always remember money is not enough. Food is not enough. Towels is not enough. Shower is not enough. If you give a poor person ability that his or her future will be good, and you show them how it's going to be good, food and place to live, you calm them down. So they were broken. They were tested death. Kadosh Baruch Hu Refa'am, God cured them. It's God walked in front of them. And all the path, medicine start come from the path. ריחות של רפואה נכנסו בגופם. And that steam that come from the ground went into the body. How beautiful the Zohar describe it. ונרפאו, they get cured. Physically the body get cured. ובכל התשבחות שהיו שומעים ושמחים מנחת רוחם. Then they were able to hear all the wonderful angels singing. So this is a very important section from the Zohar. The Zohar is basically helping us to understand how the Creator, with His mercy, took a group of people that have no chance to make it. No chance. No chance physically, no chance spiritually, no chance. And allowed them to be the best version of themselves. Lesson for us, my friend. Lesson. Lesson number one. Actually, there is only one lesson because lesson number two will come later. Lesson number one, and the only lesson in this paragraph, is to understand before you're helping someone, you better make them feel good. If they don't feel good, you will not be able to reach out to them because they're broken. They have problems. They have that issue. They have physical issue. They have health issue. They have money issue. They have relationship issue. Thousands of issues. They don't listen to you. Even if you sing, even if you go with them to a show, even if you buy them expensive suit for Shabbat, whatever it is you do for them, they're not there yet. So you're going to make them happy. And then they say, can I buy you a suit now? Now they'll say, oh my God, somebody buy me a suit. Because they are here. They're not thinking about if they're going to have a piece of bread for tonight. That's a lesson. Very important lesson. Now, I'm going to use Or HaChaim tonight. Or HaChaim was a commentary on the Torah. His name is Rabbi Chaim ben Attar. Rabbi Chaim ben Attar was always writing to Baal Shem Tov. They live in the same time. They believed that Rabbi Chaim ben Attar was a reincarnation of King David, and Baal Shem Tov was a reincarnation of King David from a different level of King David. So they both want to meet, they never met. They said that if they met, the Mashiach will come. But unfortunately, all kind of weird things happen. Rabbi Chaim ben Attar is buried in Har HaZitim, the Mount of Olive, next to Yerushalayim, and the Baal Shem Tov buried in Mitzibush. So tonight, because it's the night of the Rashash, Rabbi Shalom Sharabi, and we know that Shalom Sharabi, those of you know where he's buried very close to Or HaChaim HaKadosh. So just to let you know that we are connecting to both. Here we go. I'm reading now from Or HaChaim, Amud Kuf Ein Bet, if I'm not mistaken. And say like that. The Or HaChaim asked, Vayi Beshalach Paro et ha'am. It says that Paro sent the people. or the nation? You saying it on Passover. Is Pharaoh sent the people of Israel after all these 10 plagues? You give the credit to Pharaoh? Where is God in the picture? The parashah should start like Vayi Beshalach Hashem Bnei Israel Meretz Mitzrayim. That sounds like right. Vayi Beshalach Paro et Am? Paro? למה כינה העניין בפרעה ולא באדון המעשים? Why? So you'd say, first, you have to look into the words. Who is Pharaoh actually sending? He doesn't send Bnei Israel. He sends Am. Am means the nation. The same people that eventually disturb the Israelite from receiving the Torah when they build the golden calf. וירא העם כי משה בושש לבוא. The Am, the same Am. And why is Pharaoh sending the nation? Which Am is that? Those are the Egyptians. Those are the witchcraft people. Because he's letting go of all the Israelite, the Jewish people from his land. He got to sneak in some people to make them negative a little bit. Make them build the golden calf. And the idea, my friend, is to understand, that's the second lesson for this week, Parashat. Who you with? Who is the people that you with? Because after that you say, it's a ויהי בשלח פרעה את העם ולא ניחם אלוקים דרך ארץ פליטים כקובע ולוקים פתח חומרתו ויסב אלוקים את העם דרך המדבר יהודה וחמושים עלו בני ישראל מארץ מצרים. And then he said בני ישראל חמושים עלו בני ישראל מארץ מצרים, which חמושים in 50. Rabbi Shimon related to the number 50, which is Binah, which is freedom. So for me, we learn we have two groups of people. Some people say it was 80% Jewish slave and 20% Egyptian. Some people say even 80% Egyptian and 20% Jewish. So let's stay with 80-20. 80 the Israelite, the slave, and 20% the Egyptian who join them, that eventually become together with the Israelite. So I'm continuing with that. That's point number 2. Lesson number 2 is remember. You have to remember that the story of Rabbi Yossi from the Gemara, the most important thing is who you spend time with. If you spend time with the wrong people, you're going to get wrong. If you spend time with the right people, you're going to get right. You know, and this is very, very important to remember. So now I'm jumping to Pasuk A. I'm looking for Pasuk A actually. Here it is. It says, also Orach Chaim. I'm continuing everything Orach Chaim. Vayugad lamelech, it's told the king, meaning Pharaoh, ki barach, that the nation or the people of Israel left. What do you mean left? He told them to go. Remember last week, Pasha? It was a deal. Not only it was a deal, you can look at the Midrash, it was a contract. They signed a contract. There was slave families, slave of slave of slave. They had to sign a gittin. Gittin meaning a contract of divorce that the owner let go of the slave. It was deal like with lawyers. I mean, no lawyer then, but contract. והדברים תמוהים זה אור החיים. וכי לרצונם עשו, ולא הוקו מכות גדולות. They were beating up for 12 months. Of course they will send them. קשה מאוד. It doesn't make sense. This pasuk doesn't make sense. ויוגד למלך מצרים כי ברח העם. It tells them that the nation ran away. העם אשר שלח הוא עם ישראל. Tell us אור החיים. Remember those people, the negative people that he sent with the Israelite? They ran away. לטעם נכון אצלו להשיב בני ישראל. נתן ברחו והלכו להם. The 20% non-Israelite, non-slave, that Pharaoh sent with them to make the mixed multitude around us, Erev Rav, they decided to change side, to join Moshe Rabbeinu and to join the Israelite. That's been Kibarach Ha'am. So lesson number 3 is to understand from Orach Chaim here tonight, to understand that when you're working with Hashem, like we read from Rav Ashlag, when you're working with the Creator, when you're working with the divine, and you work on understanding that your desire, the fulfillment, like the manna, is actually all gift and you have gratitude all the time, then Hashem is taking care of your business. Hashem ilachem lachem v'atem tachreshu. You will do whatever you do. We're going to study it from Truma, Zohar Truma. And Hashem will take care of everything. That's what you need to know. But to tell it to a slave who just yesterday was controlled, and his father was controlled, his grandfather, his great-grandfather was controlled by Pharaoh, it's very difficult to believe. Very difficult. And on top of it, now I'm adding point number 4. אכן יתבהר על פי דבריהם also, I mean, אור החיים. I'm continuing אור החיים, I think it's פסוק A. מצרים רודף אחריהם. I think it's, let me see, מצרים, פסוק י', I mean, פסוק י' אור החיים. And it say like this, מצרים נוסע אחריהם. Egypt drive behind them. Who is this Egypt to drive without them? Why say נוסע? They don't know how to do נוסעים in plural? Why say single? נוסע is single. Plural will be נוסעים. מצרים נוסעים אחריהם. רבים, not יחיד. You cannot say נוסע. It's the wrong Hebrew. But it's a one. said אור החיים הקדוש. You know who was נוסע? Who is the single who was driving? זה שר של מצרים. It's not a human being. It's an angel. It's a minister from above. He was there. So the Israelite look back, they saw, whoa, angel. והנה המלאך עלה זה בא עמהם. So he saw the malach, like Or HaChaim say, like Alexander Mogdon. Okay? That before he go to war, he had an angel all the time. They tell him what to do. So before he went to Jerusalem, he didn't know if to hit Jerusalem or not. And they show him, the angel show him a face of a tzaddik. The name of that tzaddik, his name is Shimon HaTzaddik. Those of you who never been in his grave, it's in Yerushalayim. And Shimon HaTzaddik opened the door of Jerusalem for Alexander. For that reason, all the Jewish people have a tradition to call their children Alex or Alexander. Okay? The reason they call is because of that memory of Shimon HaTzaddik. Can you imagine how long ago that go? So it's saying, והנה מן הסתם, I'm reading אור החיים. So Hashem is telling the Israelite, לא לירוא ולא לפחד, אגם שכתב להם מה שכתב, ואמר פרעה הקריב. So, it say, they didn't know, they got scared, because they saw a minister from heaven, which is more than a king, after them, נוסע אחריהם. כי חשבו כי שרי מעלה באו להוכיח מהם נחמה. The Israelites start to worry. They felt the war is not against human being. We are dealing now with something much, much more. And they got to conclusions, say, Or HaChaim, listen to that. כי לא הספיק שראו מלאכים באו ללחם עמהם, כי השם חזר במחשבתו הטובה. So, oh my God, God gave up on us. He sent his angel to hit us. כי זולת זה לא היה מסכים על מלאכו לבוא לגנדם. God control all the angel. Look at the אמונה there. So if the angel come after that, we're in big ברוך, we're in big problem. ולזה צעקו, that's why they start screaming and yelling and praying. ואילו לא היה פרעה מקדים, הוא היה עם הסדר רגיל שהקדים המלך, היו תולים הדבר, כי לא למלחמה, בעלה לעמוד לפני המלך, חוסר המלך. Normally the angel come together with the king. They didn't see the king, they see just the angel. Then they say, this is serious. Because if it come with the king, לא היו מפחדים. And the question Or HaChaim said, why Hashem has to bring first the angel? בטעם שלא מנע השם מלאך מבוא. Why Hashem didn't prevent the angel? שני טעמים. 2 reasons. One, כדי להרגו לפניהם, because you know what happened to the angel? That angel died in ים סוף, died in the Red Sea. Okay? וירא ישראל את מצרים מת על שפת הים. And the Israelites saw the Egypt die in the ocean or in the sea, but it didn't say metim as plural. You say met as singular. Okay? So from here we learn that was the angel. And Hashem wanted the Israelite to see that the angel is gone. Second reason Hashem brought it, look at this, you will be shocked with the second reason. So the fear they're going to go through, they will do tshuva. They will start thinking about what is the thing I need to change, what is the thing I need to grow, what is the thing. A lot of time when you go through fear, a lot of time when you go through a difficult time, you start doing tshuva. You start looking inside and finding out what to do. What to do. Where to go. I remember many years ago, it was a lady who has a lot of problem and she need to see me. I was new into New York and I didn't have an office. So I started meeting people in the synagogue, but it was loud. It wasn't easy. In the end, I find a room where they store the plates and stuff like this. I arrange it. I put some tablecloth on it. And I said, I hope she will be okay. It was no window. Try to imagine. It's a box, door, 2 chairs. See, there behind me all the plate and I'm smiling, looking. And I say, Hashem, you know I want to give her the best, but I cannot afford a place yet. I have plate and nobody see it. But I was afraid. So that fear, I was afraid she's not going to like me. She's not going to like what I'm going to tell. Because she came to see me because she want to do her program for young children. So I'm sitting there in the office. She walked in. That's a true story, by the way. She walked in. I said, okay, I have that book for you. Maybe we can study from that. Or I said, listen, I didn't come here to study. So, excuse me? No. So that's my checkbook. That's my pen. I need to know how much will it cost to help kids to study more. So I don't know the price. I don't know what to tell you. He said it was 360,000 would be enough. I got scared. I said, you. And I'm in that office, shmegeg as we call, plates behind me that nobody see. So my friend, the fear that you're going through, or the embarrassment you're going through, make you grow. That's what it's saying here. It's saying, look at this. Tam sheni elokim chashva l'tova k'dei sheyifachdu. When you go into embarrassment, when things not working for you, many times it happened to me, things not working for me. That's the key to success. It doesn't mean you should put somebody else in discomfort. It doesn't mean you should put yourself purposely in discomfort. That's not the derech Torah. But if somehow that's how things go, it's bracha. You want to have miracle? You want to have an office without plate in the back? Go to the office with the plate in the back. Go through that thing because the nest is waiting for you. Lesson number, I think it was 5 or something like that, is to understand a lot of time when things seem to go wrong, really wrong, and the old angel from above come to fight you and you are shaking and the split seed didn't happen yet. At that moment, there is a miracle. You just have to find it. You need to find it. And it's very important that you will. Good. Very happy about this lecture today because I'm sharing with you some goodie that I always wanted to share. Now we're coming to another part. The lesson number 6. Also Orach Chaim. Verse 13. Hashem said to them, okay, now when you're ready, now when you're afraid, now you have to be quiet and I will fight for you. And then he's telling them in Pasuk Yud Gimel, in 13, Ityatzvu uru et Yeshuat Hashem. Stand and you will see the redemption of the divine, the redemption of the Creator. אולי שנתכוון לומר להם שיתייצבו בתפילה. Maybe to stand like a pray. Like you were screaming, now do תפילת עמידה. נתכוון באומרו היום, when Hashem said today, להסיר מליבם חשש מה שעבר ביציאת מצרים, שערך קץ הגאולה מיום שהתחילה הבשורה עד גמר הדבר 12 חודש. When Moses came to promise them about redemption, it was exactly 12 months. לזה אמר להם כי לא יארך זמן מלחמה, זו אלא אין היום עשרת תשובה. You need to understand, guys, the Israelite didn't know about splitting of the Red Sea. That part came after. The knew about angel of Egypt. They knew about the best soldier in the world are chasing them. They knew that 20% of those soldiers decided to become Jewish at that day. All happened. And they have no idea how, with the ladies who are pregnant and the babies and whatever they have, that they can fight back. And you know what Hashem told them? Don't worry, by the end of the day you win, everything will be okay. Would you believe? Would you believe? Would you believe? I'm not talking about the office with some plate, no big deal. I'm talking about all the problem in the world that exists. You're facing it, and Hashem is sitting with you, drinking tea together, and he say, Eliyahu, listen to me, my dear. 8 p.m. tonight, everything is over. Wouldn't you start laughing? How can that be? And Hashem continue. Asher ראיתם את מצרים, לא תוסיפו לראותם עד עולם. This Egyptian that you see and the angel and everything, you're never going to see them again. How? And again, they're afraid of the angel. That was the nightmare. The angel was the problem. The angel scared them. And here, to understand how, we need to get a little bit deep into it. Because אור החיים is sending us to a Zohar. אכן מתבאר העניין על פי מאמרם בזוהר תרומה, שישראל היו נתונים בדין. The Israelites were under influence of judgment. And ודבר ידוע הוא ככוח רחמים ומעשים טובים. And the way you can get into mercy from above, you need some good doing. Now the question is, how do you get to good doing? And I'm going to go to Zohar Teruma. And I'm going to read from Zohar Teruma, if you have the Sulam. It's in verse Taf Taf Chet, which is 808. Nice number. Or Tfus Yashan Taf Kaf Ayin, Kuf Ayin, Amud Aleph. And of course, this is the famous Pasuk, Hashem Ro'i Lo Yechsam. And I'm going to read it. I think we have time. I can read the whole thing. I'm sorry if the lecture will be a little bit longer today. I know you like it half an hour, but I try to make it as short as I can. Mizmor LeDavid Hashem Ro'i Lo Yechsam. The famous Pasuk that we say before, after נטילת ידיים, הרי למדנו שמזמור לדוד יורש שרתה עליו השכינה. We know in that section the Shekhinah was dwelling on King David. I'm going to skip that part to get to the core of everything. And I'm now in Taf Taf Tet, and Rabash write something. כי אפשר שהתחתונים יקבלו, the belower cannot receive משהו אם העליונים אינם מקבלים תחילה. If the upper don't receive it first. Meaning if something happened in Atzilut, in the word of emanation, it will happen also in the word of action. We know that. That's not the answer yet. And I'm continuing Taf Taf Yud. Hashem hu ro'eh sheli. When David HaMelech said, God is my shepherd, meaning what? He's my shepherd. The shepherd is taking care of the earth, where there is grass and food to eat. There is nothing is missing. Everything is there. God is my shepherd. To take care of my money and my food and my clothing and my place to live. Everything I need. פירוש אחר, על השם רואי. Another explanation, say the Zohar, שלמדנו, and that's connect to our parashah, קשים מזונותיו של אדם כקריאת ים סוף. We know that the money of a person is very difficult because it's coming from Notzer Chesed or from Nakeh. It's called Mazala 13. It's from Mazala. He said that is hard for Hashem, like splitting of the Red Sea. Why is it hard? וגם בית אופנים הם בית פירושים ושתיהם בדרך אמת. Two of the explanation are right. First explanation that Hashem is taking care of you. Second explanation, it's hard for Hashem to deal with the money of a person. It's the same like splitting of the Red Sea. What's the connection between money and the splitting of the Red Sea? פירוש. Explanation. תף תף י' א'. שהקדוש ברוך הוא כל מעשיו בדין ואמת ועל דין ואמת קיים על כל העולם. The whole world is based on truth and judgment. It has to be honest. ובכל יום ויום וכל זמן ומזל דן את העולם בדין לצדיקים לרשעים לכל בני העולם. And God judged the world honestly for good people and for bad people. So, וכשהוא דן בני אדם ורואה את בני אדם כמה הם רשעים, when Hashem see that how wicked are the people, כמה חוטאים, how much sin, קשה בעיניו לתת להם מזון בכל הזמן. It's hard for him to be honest and to give them all the money and all the food and everything they need, because they don't deserve it. Not because he doesn't have enough, because if he's going to give them something that they don't deserve, it's going to burn them. It's called Parashat of Shem, Naim and Eksifa. It's bad for them. אז קשה בעיניו לתת להם מזון. It's bad for him, from the attribute of the truth, from the attribute of judgment, he can't give them. משום שיש לו לזון את הרשעים ולאלו שחוטאים, because he have to take care of them. והוא עושה עמהם לפנים משורת הדין, so he's giving them. וזן ומפרנס אותם כפי חסד העליון. And he's giving them anyway, even if they don't deserve. And this is through the Nachal, through the river that pull all the sustenance, all the wonderful thing, all the health from above to below. And then the same river taking care of the Hasidim and Tzaddikim. On Reshaim, v'kol bnei haolam. The wicked, the kind people, and the righteous all receive from Hashem. And also the animals, and also the birds. Even the lice, or the eggs, the eggs of the lice eggs. Every person get benefit. So why is it say difficult for him like Yam Suf? What is difficult for the Yam Suf? Like the Red Sea, the splitting of the Red Sea. וכי קריאת ים סוף היה קשה לו? אז the Zohar in Truma Taf Yud Gimel? Is the splitting of the Red Sea was so difficult for Hashem? It's Hashem. It's a divine. It's the creator. He doesn't wake up in the morning and say, Red Sea, that's a tough one. You're asking for something tough. I can do the Kinneret. Can we close the Kinneret? No. I want the Red Sea. Difficult. Maybe you can go from the Mediterranean Sea. I think I can build a bridge as Hashem. No! We need to understand what it means. קריאת ים סוף. היה קשה לו. איך יכול להיות? How can that be? הוא משיב אלא בזמן שישראל קרבו אל הים, when the Israelites get closer to the sea, and the Creator want to open it, בא an angel by the name of RHAB. He is the minister of Egypt. He said, master of the world. It's an angel. אמר לפניו, ריבון העולם, master of the world, למה אתה רוצה לעשות דין במצרים? Why you want to kill all the Egyptians? And then split the Red Sea for the Israelite? Everybody is wicked. כולם ברשעים. What do you think? Those Israelites are good? Just yesterday they joined you, they were slaves, they did the same thing like the Egyptians. Both of the sides are bad. Why are you killing this and saving this? כל דרכיך בדין. Everything you do is honest and everything is judgment. Those people who worship Avodah Zarah, idol worshiping, those people who worship idol. What's the difference between them? If you know the Haggadah, בתחילה היו עובדי עבודה זרה, היו אבותינו במצרים. That's how you start to remind yourself. ואלו עובדים עבודה זרה, אלו חוטאים בגילוי עריות, ואלו בגילוי adultery, everything. Those kill people. בשעה היא, תו סולם, היה קשה לפניו. It was difficult for Hashem לעבור על דרך הדין. Not to be honest and not to do everything according to the right thing. והנה ישראל היו נוסעים על הים שכתוב ויאמר השם. דבר עם בני ישראל וייסעו. That's why it say that Hashem say to בני ישראל go. והיה קשה לפניו לעבור על הדין, לקרוא להם את הים סוף. It was hard for him to split the Red Sea. ולולא שהביט הקדוש ברוך הוא בזכות אברהם. But Hashem look at the merit of Avraham. שהקדים בבוקר לעשות מצוות רבונו ורצונו. When Avraham wake up in the morning, when Hashem said to him, take your son, the only son, Isaac, and sacrifice him to me. He said, Avraham wake up early in the morning to do it. He didn't say, let me have breakfast. After breakfast, we study a little bit some Torah. We do some lunch, mincha, and then I go. No. Before everything, he did it. He wait for the sunrise, boom. He took his son and said, that's the time. שכתוב וישכם אברהם בבוקר. Avraham wake up in the morning. When it happened? Early in the morning. The split of the Red Sea. You know why? Say the Zohar. וישכם אברהם בבוקר. היו כולם נאבדים בים משום שכל הלילה ההוא היה הקדוש ברוך הוא בדין על ישראל. It was judgment of בני ישראל the whole night. What do we do at that night, my friend? What do we do at that night? Are you doing שביעי של פסח? שביעי של פסח. For that reason, Hashem saying the parashah, the thing, all of it depends on what you're doing. Sometimes we don't deserve to get the good thing we deserve. We don't. Sorry to tell you. I know it doesn't make sense. Righteous people like us deserve it all. But a lot of time we don't deserve. And a person has to look inside and ask themselves, am I in a position to ask, or by me asking or wake up more judgment on me? A lot of time what you're asking for might be taking something that belongs to somebody else. So you cause judgment to another person. Let's say 1,000 people have nothing to eat, and another 1,000 have too much to eat. They throw it to the garbage. How can that be? Well, those people took the food of those. Those meant to be punished, those meant to be rewarded, but the one who was rewarded has to be careful. Because if they wake up the attribute of judgment, the judgment will come on them. That's why soulmate and money and the splitting of the Red Sea, same thing. Because soulmate means that, let's say your soulmate, God forbid, married to somebody else, the husband has to die, so she will come to you. Or the opposite, something like that. There is a story I want to share that I read today from Rabbi Karlebach to understand how things work with the splitting of the Red Sea. The story is about two guys. One is the owner, the one with the money, and his CPA. And they're traveling. To buy and sell, They usually go to a city in Poland, they buy the merchandise, they come and sell it, and the quality of merchandise. So wherever they go, they have cash with them, box of cash. The gentleman who buy, the owner, is very rich. Everybody know him, but he never buy with credit. He's always take the box with him with cash, and that's what he buy. So the CPA and the owner stop in the middle of the road, and they say, this place is so beautiful. We have to thank Hashem for how beautiful the creation is. And they stop them. It's a beautiful park that a lot of people with families stop there. So they usually put the box under them and they sleep on that. They went to sleep in the morning, they left earlier, but they've not been aware that they didn't take the box with cash with them. When they arrive to the city to buy everything, they start choosing what they want, they come to pay. Everybody trusts the other person will take the box, and nobody took the box. And everybody come to the rich man and say, listen, I can give it to you for free. You pay me later. I know how rich you are. He said, no, I'm not buying. I have rules not to buy with credit. I buy everything cash. He said, listen, we trust you. You buy from us for 25 years. We know who you are. We know the CPA. He said, no, I'm not buying. Sorry. The CPA looked at him. He looked at him and said, let's go back. They go back. Said, you know what? We did a good prayer for Hashem. Maybe we stop again and thank Hashem here. Thank Hashem. And they go to sleep. It's a big park. As they go to sleep, they wake up in the morning and they feel that there is a box under them. When the rich man see the box, he look at the CPA. He say, you're no longer working for me. Here is half of the money. And I'm going home. So can you tell me what happened? I said, I cannot tell you nothing. Good luck. In the meantime, the rich man, of course, is now going back to his town. And he's trying to make some business, but of course, none of the business work. He become really poor, and he's trying to do the best he can to survive, but nothing happened. He become one of the poorest people in town from being the richest. And you know how it is when you lose money and you don't have money. You really find out how many friends you have. All of a sudden, people you thought not your friend become your friend. And people who are a real friend appear, and the real people you thought they are a friend are gone. They don't even say Shabbat Shalom to you. They don't say anything. And the beauty happened that he became really poor. So poor. The poorest. And he joined a group of poor people who told them, if you want help, you have to join us and we will tell you where to go. They arrived to that town and they told him there's a guy who was very cheap, but maybe he will give you something. So you go see this guy and he said, I need help. Please, can you help me? I said, sure, come in. So he come in, he give him something to drink, he give him some cookie. And on the way out, he gave him a gold coin, an old gold coin. It was a big deal there. So he come to meet the poor people and he tell them, listen, I actually had a good time with this guy. Give me a gold coin. I said, give us the gold coin. It's part of join our group. They take from him. So they're now jealous and they hate him. And he go back to the rich man. And the rich man said to him, thank you for coming back. Let's have a meal together. And at that time, he doesn't look at the rich man. He's just eating. He's ashamed of himself. As the Gemara said, bread of shame is not an easy thing. When you receive gift from people, you feel embarrassed. And he's eating. And the gentleman asked him if he can join him for Shabbat. And this is now Thursday. He go back and he tell the poor people, and he tell them, listen, he asked me to come for Shabbat. It's unbelievable. So I'm gonna. They say, great. So they make fun of him and they get very jealous from him. And they went together to the mikveh. And next to the mikveh was like a place to schwitz, like a sauna, what they call banyo. And what they did to him, they stole his clothes. They stole everything. So he is now naked. He has nothing. His family left him, of course. No money, no nothing. Now he has no clothes. He's in the mikveh with no clothes. It's different when you're a rich man and you're in a mikveh with no clothes. Say, I don't have clothes. You have two servants running right away to you to give you. But when you have no money, they kick you out. They kick him out there of Shabbos. Outside. He's hiding behind the tree. In the meantime, the rich man thought he's a decent poor man. He doesn't know he was abused. So he has two wonderful sons. He said to his son, I think I like that guy. What happened to him? Do you mind finding him? So they go against the poor, the guy who was in charge. And they ask, do you know where is he? And he's drunk from Shabbat, he's eating good food, dark and everything like this. He said, I'm sure he's still schwitzing in the mikveh. They go to the mikveh, they cannot find him. And then they hear singing of Shabbat behind the trees. And they see there is a naked man there. It's him. Of course, they took the jacket, one of them gave him the other one, he covered him, and they brought it home. And he was so embarrassed. And that Shabbat he started eating, he cannot show his face. So the rich man find out what happened to him. He said, can you please show me your face? So he was so embarrassed because of the bread of shame. So he showed the face to the rich man. And that's a CPA. And he was so happy to see him. He said, my master, you're the one who gave me the money. I become a billionaire. I'm so rich right now. And I couldn't wait to give you money back, to give you something. Because of you, I become who I am. And the story that continue after that, the CP asked the rich man, his boss in a way, why, when we found the money in the forest, your face becomes sad and you divide the money and you left. And when my kids found you naked with no clothes, no money, no food for Shabbat, you were singing song of Shabbat. How can that be? Teach me. He said, well, I'm a student of a great rabbi from Rosin. And we teach that the world is Galgal Mazal. The world is a wheel of fortune. When I came back and I found the money in the same spot, that's impossible. That's when Hashem is doing too much Mazal for me. That's when I'm in the top of the game. I knew that the Mazal is about to change. I was worried about you. I knew that if you're going to continue with me, you're going to lose all the money. So I took half of the money and gave it to you, and I want to separate from you so you can make it. Because I know I have to go through some tough tikkun. The reason I sank when I didn't have anything is because I knew from this point I could only go up. That's what he's saying. Sometimes in life, my friend, you're going to Galgal Mazal. The secret is when you're down, understand great things is coming. When you are up, think how to share, think how to give, think how to help. Can you go above the wheel of fortune? Yes, you can. But for this, you need a lot of siyata deshmaya, you need a lot of study, you need a lot of mitzvot, you need a lot of spirituality, you need a lot of meditation, you need a lot of study of Zohar, Tikkunei Zohar specifically, to go above the Galgal Mazal. For that reason, when the Bnei Israel, this story is taking us to the last part. I want to give you 5 more parts, but that will take me 5 hours. The last part, Bnei Israel is worried. So they start screaming and yelling and praying. Moshe come to the divine and say, Hashem, help us. Hashem answer, Matitzak Elai. Why are you yelling to me? The Elai is referred to Ze'er Anpin. Elai is referred to the normal level. And I'm going to read from the story, from the letter that Rabbi Yehuda Tzvi Brandwein wrote to the Rav. And it's letter 4, those of you who have it. And it says like this. שצריכים להמשיך נס היינו מחוץ לדרך הטבע. When you need miracle above nature. איך ממשיכים ניסים? How do you get above the גלגל המזל? Above the wheel of fortune? What do you need to do? זוהי רק על ידי מסירת נפש. This is only on self-sacrifice. Why? היות שבאדם טבוע וקיים הכוח והרצון לקיום עצמו. Say Rav Brandwein, within the person there is a desire to survive only for oneself alone, only for me. ולבלוע הכל and to swallow everything. ולשלוט על הכל and to control everything. ואם הוא מתגבר עצמו למסור את נפשו. If you overcome your נפש, let go of the ego. Meet in the office full of spider and plates. Go above the Mesirut Nefesh. Mesirut Nefesh is not to die. Mesirut Nefesh is swallow your tongue when people tell you things you don't want to hear. Swallow your tongue sometimes when somebody tell you, I'm sorry, sir, you cannot teach Kabbalah here. Swallow your tongue when they tell you, I don't want to give you a lecture here. All kind of thing like this that embarrass. I can only tell you about me how many times I went through Mesirut Nefesh. Hashem put me in a situation like this. If it's Argentina, after the bombing, they put me in prison like I'm the terrorist. Did you know that? I take my group and I say, we dancing now. We dancing like that poor man dancing in the street. They look at me, are you nuts? I said, beside the point I am. But to tell you what is going on here, we are now in the point that we can get to the highest level. And we did. Mesirut Nefesh. Do you have Mesirut Nefesh in your relationship? You don't? Then don't expect amazing results. Do you have Mesirut Nefesh in your business? Do you help somebody in your business? Is there this person that you cannot stand in your business and you're going to make them a superstar? If you're a teacher like me, a rabbi, is your Mesirut Nefesh to go the extra mile to help the student, to go the extra mile to help a student who even insult you and abuse you and talk not nice to you, and you're going to find a way to help them. Doesn't really matter what you're going through. It's about them. That's Mesirut Nefesh. So Matitzak Elai, say the Zohar, Be'ati katalia milta. You want to connect to a high level, Ati katalia milta. Atika is the Keter of Atzilut. There? Split the Red Sea, you can fly, you can do anything. But to get there, what is the Rav Brandwein telling us? להתגבר עצמו למסור את נפשו למען כבודו יתברך. Let go of the ego, let go of the need to be right. Not because of manners, approval, validation, because you want to connect to the divine. אז הכוח הזה בוקע כל האווירים. That force you did opening everything. קורע כל המסכים. All the curtain been tear. אין שום כוח לא בעליונים ולא בתחתונים לעצור בעדו. Nothing can stop. ולמנוע ממנו שום דבר מבקשתו. Anything you want will happen. Nobody can stop you. What do you want? 7.1 million? Too little. You can get more than that. 9 million? 71 million? Everything you want. ותפילתו מתמלא בקול. Remember that. מה תצעק אליי כעת? אני רוצה לעשות להם ניסים של רוד. I want to create miracle for them more than that. בעתיק עתליה מילתא, כי יש מדרגה שנקראת זעיר אנפין, שקבעו לקבל את תפילתם של ישראל, לענות להם, וזה לי. אבל כאן עליי הדבר תלוי, שצריכים לגלות לבני ישראל נס שלא כדרך הטבע. If תצעק אליי, yes, קודשא בריך, הוא י' כו' כ', regular miracle I can do with your prayer. But you want to get to מזלה? מסירות נפש. Let go of the desire to receive once and for all, everything open. Short, just short, I know I'm late. All the idea of the 72 name, my friend, just in short version. You see that Vayavo, Vayisa, Vayet. All of them start with Vav. Say Tikkunei Zohar, Tikkun 21. Vav, Vav, Vav. What is Vav? Vav, those of you know, little Kabbalah, it's Chasadim. Chasadim is mean what's come from you out. Chokhmah is what's come from out to you. So when you do with Chasadim, when you deal with the idea for the sake of sharing, you can open any gate. Any gate. Now you can ask a question. The Zohar asks, why the two verses going right to left and one verse go left to right? The center column, which is Vayet, is supposed to be half and half, right? Say the Zohar, it is actually half and half, but we cannot see the second half. The second half is actually left column too, but Hashem is hiding the judgment, again, to allow us through the Chasadim to reveal everything. May this week will be an amazing week. May this week we will find so many things that will change us to look for more and more, to become better people, better connect to the divine, to the creator, to God, to see the good in human being around us, to make ourselves strong, to see the good in people who hurt us, to find one good things about them, so Hashem will have mercy on all of us. Thank you for listening. Sorry if I've been long. And remember, this Shabbat is powerful for money, because Kriyat Yam Suf. So make sure, if you have issue with money, from this moment, you actually can connect and pray. And this Saturday, wherever you are, in this synagogue you go to, make sure you hear the Torah. That Torah is taking care of business. All the best. Thank you for listening.